Hi, good morning Capricorn. I'm the Tarot Muse and I'm here today with your weekly tarot love reading. I've shuffled all the cards and I've laid them out. So I have a little bit of backstory as to what's going on for you. But I think let's first dive into the cards and see what's there. And so while I'm talking to you, I'm going to pick them just so that we don't waste any time and get on with it. And I'm picking out a spread that allows me to see what's going on for you with regards to your love reading. What is going on for you personally with the other person. And my aim is to go quite deep with it, going into the inner psychological workings of the situation and whatever lies there. Okay, so in the present moment we have the High Priestess. So there's some kind of so the High Priestess is the card of intuition and inner knowing, and it's interesting because I can see that there's something quite intense going on for you right now. I have the Thunderbolt card, which is like the Tower card, and I have the Tower card here for the outcome coming up for you. So there's this High Priestess is crossed by the Two of Swords, which is the card of stalemate or emotional indecision. So with regards to your intuition, it's crossed by some kind of emotional indecision. So perhaps you're having doubts about what to do or where to go. So let's get 3 cards for the intuition card for the High Priestess and find out what that's about. Okay, so I have the Magician card, the Ace of Cups, and the World card. So it talks about something that has been created around love is complete. And intuitively you know this. So you know that this love connection or this love relationship is complete. Let's get more information and find out what the emotional indecision is about. And I've got the Wheel of Fortune. Things are changing with your finances or with a creative business project that you've been working on, or a new financial opportunity that you've been working on. Things are changing. So there's emotional indecision around this that is changing around that. And the intensity is building with that. Let's find out more about what that's about. What is changing? Okay, again I'm getting the Ace of Pentacles. And so the stability of home and money and happiness is changing intensely. And it looks like it's reaching a place of some kind of stalemate. So possibly what once was happy is now stuck. Okay, so let's see what's going on in the past for you. Okay, so I have this could be the commitment card. Because you were reviewing. So it looks like it's possibly what happened with the communication in the relationship. How it started becoming perhaps more fighting. I have got the projection card over here for you as something that's needing to be dropped within this relationship. And the projection card is where we basically don't own our stuff, we project it onto the other person. But generally if this comes up, it means that both of you are doing it to each other. And so it left you feeling quite emotional and constantly having to defend yourself against this. It may have been quite cutting words or hasty communication that wasn't really given enough thought, but was quite painful or hurting or impulsive. So that may have been the trigger for downward spiral. But I don't want to jump to conclusions just yet. Let's see what is conscious for you. I've got the moving away from something, walking away, and happiness. Yeah, gosh. So I've got 3 cards here that are talking to me about consciously what's happening for you is that you're leaving something behind. You're not only moving away from difficult times, from something that you emotionally set up that was very happy for you. I've got the 3 of Cups, so there was a lot of joy and playfulness and celebration in it. And I literally see you getting out of there. So this is what's conscious for you. What is unconscious for you? I've got the Hangman card. Okay. So we've got, I've got the 4 of Cups, the 5 of Pentacles, and the Ace of Wands, and the Hangman. So it talks about surrendering to this. It's, I don't want to say it's apathy or boredom, but not really seeing what's there in the relationship. And it looks like you're really upset. There's a struggle going on. There's a financial struggle going on. There's a real struggle going on. And there's the hope for new creative opportunities amidst this struggle. And I see you not even able to see what's being offered to you. So it's a little bit like we get so caught up in the struggle that we don't see anything else around us that could potentially lighten our lives and bring more joy to our lives. So for instance, living in nature in a beautiful place, but every day being indoors and stressed about, what's going on, instead of going for a walk in the forest and just enjoying nature and allowing that to be healing for you, for example. So there's some kind of surrender that's happening for you, some kind of acceptance of this state. It's interesting because another card that I got for you that you're conscious of right now is called the Nothingness card. I call it the no man's land experience because it's like you don't know where you're going, you don't know what's going on, you're kind of in a state of suspension and you've got nothing really to hold on to because it's almost like you're transitioning from one state of your life into another, and what used to be you, or what used to be your way of being in the world, no longer is. It's kind of burned down. And so this place of nothingness or no man's land, you have no choice but to surrender, because from that place there can be some kind of rebirth, and from that place we can see beyond the illusion of what our previous lives were, if we give it the surrender. If we get freaked out and try and control it and try and make sense of it, that wisdom can't come through. But I see for you it does. I see you surrender to this space, because we've got the Ace of Wands over here. And the card that's coming up here is the, what is needed for resolution is beyond illusion. And that's exactly what I was talking about here. It'll allow you to drop any projections that you have either in your partnership or in the world with your reality. And the projection is just seeing things for how you want to see them, or seeing things based on your conditioning as opposed to what they really are. And so this talks about starting to see things for what they really are. Okay, so what's going on for you right now, apart from all of that? I've got the 9 of Wands, so let's get 3 cards. Burden, work, and looking out. Okay, so yeah, you're kind of persevering with the burden that you're carrying, and let's get 1 card for what this burden is. Teamwork, around hopes and dreams, and then the deception card. So it's kind of like you were deluded by perhaps hopes and dreams around a business, or even the exchange between you and your partner, and it's left you feeling incredibly disillusioned and depressed, almost stressed about it, and it's a burden for you. And it talks about you're kind of hanging in there. You're a little bit battered and bruised, but you're hanging in there, and you're working at finding a way out, finding a way through, beyond the illusion. And so let's find out more about what's going on for the other person. I've got the Emperor card, so let's get 3 cards for them. Okay, so with regards to them taking charge of the home and the abundance of the home, perhaps the once happy times, they've also taken some kind of a break. They're also not involved in this state of happiness, because there's a lot of confusion for them as well. I can see that the Moon card is coming up for them, so there's a state of strong confusion for them, and which means it's almost impossible for them to take action. So they're also in some kind of suspended state. Where is the relationship at? I've got the King of Swords. Okay. So I've got the conflict card, so there's some kind of detachment. The King of Swords talks about how it is that we take action with our mind. I say take action, generally that relates to the ones, but in this case it's a masculine sign, so it's more sort of action orientated with regards to the mind and the reasoning and the logic and how it is that this whole situation is perceived or dealt with. And so I can see that there's an attempt for some kind of success and emotional fulfillment despite the conflict with regards to the relationship. So it's this mental maturing, this choosing a higher, more mature way of dealing with the situation despite the conflict and despite the chaos, because once upon a time there was happiness, and so that's something to hold on to. So regardless of whether the relationship survives or not, there's a lot of work that's needing to happen for both of you right now. Wisdom. There's a lot of growth that's happening for you, despite the path being an intense struggle. I can see with the Lenormand cards over here. Wisdom and knowledge and growth is happening for you, Capricorn. Okay, and that's what this path is. It may seem very confusing and with no clarity, but it's actually the path that you're on. It's part of the learning. That's what the Lenormand cards are letting me know. So for the outcome, I have the Tower card, and the outcome, the Tower card, is the card of destruction and breakdown and disillusionment. And I can see that you're attempting to manage this, but there's such strong loss, and it's also destroyed the passion. It's influenced the loss and the passion. So that's the outcome. The outcome is this meltdown that's busy happening. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel. This isn't, the final, but this is kind of what you're going through right now. So it's just important to become prepared for it in order to deal with it better. It's an initiation. It's a very powerful thing to go through. So for the future card, I've got the Death card over there, and I want to pick 3 cards to find out more about what that's about. Okay, so I have the King of Swords, the Queen of Swords, and the Lovers card. So you're an Earth sign, Capricorn. You're either well, you're a Capricorn, but Earth is also, yeah. So in this case, I've got a King of Wands, and I've got a Queen of Swords, and I've got the Lovers card, and I've got the Death card. So perhaps this is how it is that you've detached from the situation with regards to your partner. So the partner is coming up as a King of Wands, which is a fire sign, so Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. And it shows how you've detached from the relationship being over. But the detachment is, it's someone who's been through a painful period, and they're no longer wearing their emotions on their sleeve. They've learned to master their emotions and to not allow the emotions to pull them apart, but to be discerning about how it is that they meet every single response that's coming up in them. And so that's where you're at right now with, or at least in the future, that's what happens in the future. And I've got the Devil card coming up, and the Fool card, which talks about new emotional beginnings. So with regards to the Devil card, that could refer to some kind of addiction, or some kind of, it could be just something unhealthy that's happening within the relationship. It could be codependency, it could be somebody's drinking too much or smoking too much. And yeah, there's a new awareness around all of that, which brings some kind of new beginnings for you. And the Justice card, so the emotions around the past get stirred up as a result of it, as you're taking control of the relationship being in its infant, coming to an end, the relationship with this fiery person. And it brings you back to independence, back to your financial independence. I've got the 9 of Pentacles over here. So I hope that was helpful in some way. I hope it shed some light. These are really intense times that we're going through. I'm seeing this with all the readings, and I just want to give you hope that it's all for growth. And if you can approach it that way, despite how intense and painful it is, then you will transform in a very radical way. I do personal readings, and I also want to mention that I have created a series of videos on how to read each of the tarot cards if you're interested in learning the symbolism. So if this is something that appeals to you, please like and subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to ring the bell so that you get future notifications. Otherwise, thank you for watching, for your time. Please leave your comments. Bye for now.